What's up, guys? This is Chris with Serving and Swerving, and I just like to explore different areas, learn about the past, and see what's going on in the different cities I visit. So I like to spend a lot of time in the Phoenix Valley and just Arizona in general, and one of the top things to do there is to check out the Heard Museum. I learned a lot, I got a little emotional about it, and you know what? I just really enjoyed it and got overwhelmed by how great it was. So come with me as we explore this area, let's check it out, and let's do everything there is to do in Arizona, and let's learn everything there is to learn. So whenever I go to a new city, I just look up like the 10 top things to do in the area, then I try to just do all of that. This was the Heard Museum, and I'm glad I checked it out. Your visit to the Heard Museum includes 12 exhibition galleries, free guided tours, outdoor sculpture garden, a renowned cafe, a contemporary art gallery, and trading post style shop, plus much more. This place was beautiful. I loved the courtyard. The area was very aesthetic, very open. It was a great time, and I'm really glad I went to the Heard Museum. I definitely recommend it. If you're in the Phoenix area, check it out. The Heard Museum has collections from indigenous cultures throughout the world, but its focus is on Native American people of the Southwest. This includes diverse cultures from Arizona and New Mexico. The unique landscapes and environments of this region differ from almost any other place, and the Native people who lived here differed from almost every single person. So this is why it's so good to learn about this place. Through Arizona, you have the Grand Canyon, you have the desert, you have so many different cultures. This place offers tours. Right now, the first little segment of this video is about to be called Home, Native People in the Southwest. This is going to focus on the artwork, the people who lived here, because people lived in the Grand Canyon, people lived in the desert, people lived in all kinds of different areas. This is going to go over the tribes, where they were at, what they did. Here, if you look on the left, people are looking at the traditional homelands, then on the right, the present day homelands. So there were all kinds of different groups, and this is going to focus in on that. Whenever I got here, there was actually a lady giving a tour to a bunch of kids, which was cool for them to learn about the past. You're going to see all kinds of artwork, all kinds of pottery. You're going to learn this right here was the oven that was traditionally in their homes that they used to cook. I mean, we're going to learn some cool inventions that really stand the test of time as far as ingenuity, artwork, and dedication to the craft. I mean, these people were awesome. We're going to see some of the different vases. We're actually going to learn how they actually made these vases through the different clay, the different pottery. We're going to learn about the different dolls they use. Like these dolls right here were actually made by the older guys of the tribe, and they were used to kind of display stories, and they give them to the kids to pass down traditions through stories. This is actually inside a home that would have been throughout the area, and it shows how they lived, what they did. Really interesting stuff, and it talks about the Hopi people, the Navajo, the Apache, the different tribes that called the Southwest home. You're actually going to be able to visit a Navajo hogan. The traditional Navajo home, called a hogan, is generally constructed from cedar or pine. Mud is packed between the beams, making the home cool in summer and warm in winter. Traditionally, a nuclear family resides in a hogan. Today, hogans are used for ceremonial purposes or a second home. The door always faces the east to the rising sun. Hogans are built to be round. In the past, a conical shape was popular, but not anymore. Learn how the Navajo lived, learn what they wore, learn what they made. And now we're going to focus on the Colorado Riverland. If you know anything about the Colorado River, you know it's one of the most important rivers in Arizona. It actually goes between the Grand Canyon, and it's iconic. The Colorado River made it available for people to call the canyon their home. This is going to show some of the basket weaving they used, some of the tools they created. Here's a quote from one of the people who lived on the Colorado River. "It was our life's blood. Everything we live on comes from the river. We drink the water. We grow crops. That's all a part of what we are and who we are." And then it's going to talk about the Sonora Desert. As you go past, you're going to see like the outside sculptures, which they're actually working on. They have a It's Your Turn gallery, which is good for the kids. You're going to see different movies that explain a lot, different books. You're going to actually be able to make artwork through a tablet, which is really cool. And they also have like drawing and different stuff you can make pictures for. All museums normally have a little child center, and it's cool, it's good. Bring the kids. It's going to show different card games that the Native American people actually played, which was awesome. I mean, inside is beautiful, outside is beautiful. You have to check out this spot. They have a theater, which I learned a lot about the pottery. The Harnett Theater. Right now, we're going to learn about the paddle and anvil. I know this is kind of copyright, but I only brought pieces. Let's learn, let's hear. You're going to learn a lot of words have a double meaning, like Indian School Road, or how about Maricopa County? Do you know what that actually means? This is why you go to museums. You learn about the past, the present, what these words are. The Maricopa County is the name of the county and is actually known for the Pipash people. This video shows us one of the actual local native people, and he actually still does artwork and pottery the same way they used to in the past. He's keeping the tradition alive. Right now he's going to show us how to make the clay with water. The water rises to the top, the clay stays to the bottom, and that's what they're going to use as paint. I mean, this guy right here that we're watching, I go to all kinds of museums, and this guy's always like on the videos showing how to do it. This guy is legit. He teaches classes, he teaches it all. Make sure you figure out how to do it. Look, here's the oven and here's the finished artwork. The pottery classes are awesome. How they did stuff in the past was amazing, and it was very ingenuitive. Since its founding in 1929, the Hurd Museum has grown its size and stature to become recognized internationally for the quality of its collections, world-class exhibits, educational programming, and its unmatched festivals. Dedicated to the advancement of American Indian art, the Herd successfully presents the stories of American Indian people from a first person perspective, as well as exhibitions that showcase the beauty and vitality of traditional and contemporary art. This was made by Holy Bear, who's Rhonda Holy Bear, who's a Native American artist, and that's what the Herd Museum does. They want to give people the chance for their artwork to be shown. Because look, she's not just making these for fun, she's making these as her ancestors. She's putting love, respect. Every detail is thought out. These are how they looked. This is what they wore. These are the traditions, the customs. You're going to come in here and see all these different statues, and it's going to give you a real life, like a representation of what they did during the ceremonies. Yeah, all of that was cool. We like checking out the stuff and learning. Here's where I got emotional. Not going to lie, I cried in the museum. I know, right? It's called Away from Home, American Indian Boarding School Stories. And if you don't get emotional, like walking through here, reading these stories and seeing these pictures, then I don't really think you have a heart, like, or you don't have a kid. Because if you think about like your kid being taken and like, everything that you think is culture, everything that you think is unique about you, they just change it. They cut your hair, they take your clothes, they make you stand in line. Actual pictures from the kids that went there. It talks about why boarding schools, because you know what, they realized it was cheaper to educate them than to fight them. So they kind of made them into the American lifestyle. If you could go back in time, you would, but hey, this is what it is. And it's going to show a lot of these pictures, which are awesome to see because it puts you there. You hear about different things in school, and yeah, you see some pictures, but to actually like walk through, you can feel it. You really can feel it. from home, you're gonna learn. You're just gonna go out in the courtyard. You're gonna learn a little bit about the petrified wood, which is in Arizona. Really cool. If you haven't been to the Petrified Wood National Forest, I recommend checking it out. I have a video on that. Then it's going to talk about the Heard Museum, the actual owners and who they were, and a little bit about the past, about the museum, which is awesome to know because learning about the past helps you learn about the present. So then the Herds and Phoenix, we're going to learn a lot about the kind of staples of Phoenix, who the people were, what they were all about, and kind of how they brought this to life. So I absolutely love the museum. I've learned a lot about the people who started the Heard Museum, the Heard family. I learned about the founders of Phoenix. Up next is the Substance of Stars, which is kind of one of those like I forget the name for it. One of those theaters where it's like everything's above you, to the side, to the left. It's an all immersive thing. It shows you a lot of the different constellations that the Native Americans had stories about. It talks about Turtle Island, which is kind of where they say that they came from. It's also gonna go through a video explaining the different Native American tribes and where they came from, how they survived, and it's going to be a really cool video. You're going to learn a lot. It's going to be really engaging, and just time to take a break, have a seat, and enjoy the masterpiece that is the Heard Museum. Javed Mackay is known as one of the people who made the Milky Way. So after the movie, we're going to kind of walk through an art exhibit, which, like I said, focuses on a lot of the stuff from the past. And then up next, they're actually going to have an exhibit just dedicated to Hawaiian surfing. Because the native Hawaiian people, they had the surfing down. They used it for recreation. They used it for how to get fish, how to do different things. And they always say you could tell a place is thriving if they have artwork and recreational activities. Obviously, you're going to have your basic needs, but once you have your basic needs met, you start doing artwork, you start doing games, ceremonies, different things like that. And that's how you know civilization or a group of people are actually thriving because they have time to do games, they have time to do different artwork. And it's cool. It's going to kind of take you on a path through surfboards, through snowboards, through skateboards, different stuff like that, because a lot of it came from the Hawaiian Islands and the native people that lived there. Some really cool artwork, some really cool unity events, and different things that they offer. And then after that is the Southwest Silverwork. Because obviously, if you've ever shot in a bow and arrow, you know whenever you let go of that string, it's going to hit your wrist. So the Native Americans made all this different silversmith, and the Pueblo silversmiths that were there still make artwork today. It's going to show the different earrings and the different stuff they made out of silver because different collections mark different times, and then they have the different stores throughout where you can get different books. And it's actually been voted. This is the bookstore, which is cool. And they have a little coffee store. Grab your coffee, your iced tea, maybe a little sandwich. And then they actually have been like awarded like TripAdvisor, one of the best gift shops in Phoenix Valley, where you can buy all kinds of gifts and artifacts and different stuff like that. Well, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. The Heard Museum normally takes about 2 to 3 hours to finish, 2 to 3 hours to go through. I definitely recommend it. Like I said, you're going to learn a lot. I love museums more than most people do, I think, because you know what? They're just cool. You know, you learn a lot more than you think you'd learn. So whenever I go to a new spot, I want to learn about the people who live there, the land, learn everything. Well, thanks for checking out the video, guys. If you're interested in Arizona and you want to check it out more, subscribe to the channel as I explore the different things, the different places, and you know what? Stuff like that. Serving and swerving, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Thanks, guys, and have a great day.